Claire from Woods Web. This morning I'm going to talk to you about how to save an image for your WooCommerce cart. If I've built a shopping cart for you, it will be within WooCommerce and you will need to add photos, and so this is how I do it. I use Photoshop. There are other ways you can do this. There are other platforms you can use or applications you can use to create photos, and I'll talk to you more about that in a blog post coming up shortly, and I'll add the link into this training tutorial for you when I do that. At the moment I'm going to show you how to do it in Photoshop. You can get a relatively cheap version of this, and I think it's even possible to get a free version, but I will investigate that further for you. Okay, so what we want to do today is we want to open a file that we're going to resave. I've already got a file that I have in mind, and it's this one here, which is some beautiful blue lace agate crystals. I'm working on a crystal website at the moment, so I'm going to go ahead and open that image, and I've already preset this in here. I have, because I've been saving other images at the same size. But say for example if this was cleared and there was no ratio here, I would be plugging in my values so that it cropped. So you have to be on the cropping tool to do this. I'm already on it, and then I'm going to go, you could just go 1:1, which will then give you an absolute square, but you need to add the pixels. If I'm using a square for my image, then I'm going to be adding them in as 800 by 800 pixels. The reason I choose to use squares is because it allows for a very horizontal image, but it also allows for a very vertical image. If you know that all of your products are going to be very thin pencils or very tall crochet hooks or whatever it might be, then you can save your files accordingly, and that's how they will display in the cart. I choose to use the square because I think it looks the nicest. Okay, so we double click in here to set that value. Then what we need to do is we need to go and save it for web, specifically for web use. What that does is it optimizes it so that the size is small, loads quickly, and gives your user experience a bit of a boost because they're not holding up your site in any way. So we head on up to File and we go to Export, and then we go to Export As. There is a quick key for this. It depends on what kind of machine you're on. That's what I normally use. But we go Export As and you'll end up with a new box here. Just going to bring this box over into the window. This value here, you want the quality to be a reasonable quality. We don't want it to be really high and we don't want it to be really low. So you could come down to 5, depends on your images. I think 5 is often fine. We need to make sure that that width is 800 pixels by 800 pixels. Sometimes it might be 2000, and that's not what you want. And then you just go export it. Up here is where you'll save your file name. I always make sure that I save my file name absolutely in a relevant way that suits your product. So instead of Blue Ace Agate IG Chunks Web V1, I'm going to call it Blue Lace Agate. And then I'm just going to save it to my desktop because it's just the fastest way for me to reload it into the website. So then go ahead and save it, and that file is now saved to my desktop, and you can go ahead and close out this one. I'm going to do my next tutorial on including the picture in the actual product. So head on over back to your training tutorials and look out for how to create a WooCommerce new product. Thank you.